A national IOU, bigger than Texas. Did you know if you stacked $100 bills representing the US national debt, it would reach the moon? That's right, folks. Our debt is astronomically huge. We're talking over $32 trillion, a number so big it makes your eyes water. That's like everyone in America owing a brand new Tesla, and then some. Now, some debt is normal. Countries use it for investments, infrastructure, you name it. But when your debt gets bigger than your entire economy, Houston, we have a problem. It's like ordering takeout every night and maxing out your credit card. Eventually, those delicious burritos catch up to you. This isn't about being party poopers. It's about being financially responsible. Something we all try to do, right? Except when it's our government. They seem to have missed the memo about living within their means. So buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to dive deep into the wild, wacky world of the US debt crisis. Uncle Sam's credit card is maxed out. Imagine this. Uncle Sam, decked out in red, white, and blue, walks into a bank. He needs another loan. The banker, sweating bullets, says, "Sir, with all due respect, you're already maxed out." Uncle Sam just shrugs, flashes a toothy grin, and says, "Don't worry, I'm good for it." That's pretty much the situation we're in. Except the stakes are way higher than Uncle Sam getting cut off from his favorite mail-order catalog. This is serious stuff, folks. A high national debt means less money for things we need. Schools, roads, healthcare. You know, the stuff that makes America great. And here's the kicker. A big chunk of our debt is owned by other countries, like China. It's like owing money to your super organized, slightly judgmental neighbor. They're not going to foreclose on our house or anything, but it does give them leverage. Not exactly the best look for the good old US of A. So, why should you care? Because this debt affects everything from the interest rates you pay on your loans to the value of the dollar in your pocket. It's like a giant game of Jenga, and the tower is starting to wobble. The price we pay when debt gets real. Here's the thing about debt. It comes with interest. And when you're talking trillions of dollars, even a tiny interest rate hike adds up fast. We're talking billions, folks. Billions that could be spent on, I don't know, literally anything else. Remember those infrastructure projects we desperately need? Potholes the size of small cars? Yeah, those aren't going to fix themselves. But with so much money going towards interest payments, it's like trying to patch a leaky roof with a Band-Aid. And don't even get me started on government spending. It's like a buffet where nobody knows the meaning of the word no. We've got money going to programs that haven't been effective since the Nixon administration. We're subsidizing industries that could buy and sell small countries. It's enough to make your head spin. The bottom line, this debt is costing us. It's costing us money, it's costing us opportunities, and it's costing us our future. Section 4. How did we get here? A century in the making. Now, before we start pointing fingers, let's be clear. This debt crisis didn't happen overnight. It's been brewing for decades, like a pot of bad decisions simmering on the stove. Think back to World War II. We spent a ton of money, rightfully so, to defeat the Nazis. Then came the Cold War, where we poured even more money into defense spending. Fast forward to the 2000s, and we've got two wars, a financial crisis, and a whole lot of tax cuts. Now, I'm not saying all these things were bad, but they all contributed to our national debt. And let's not forget about the political gridlock in Washington. Democrats and Republicans can't agree on the color of the sky, let alone how to tackle this massive debt. It's a perfect storm of historical events, political maneuvering, and economic realities. And guess what? We're the ones stuck holding the umbrella, a very leaky umbrella at that. Section 5. Time to trade the credit card for a budget app? So, how do we fix this mess? Well, it's not going to be easy, but it's not impossible either. It's like finally deciding to clean out your overstuffed closet. It's daunting, but oh so satisfying once it's done. First things first, we need to get serious about responsible spending. That means taking a hard look at the budget and identifying areas where we can cut back. And no, I'm not just talking about defunding Big Bird or cutting off Grandma's Social Security. We need to look at those bloated defense contracts, those inefficient government programs, those tax loopholes big enough to drive a truck through. It's time to separate the needs from the wants and start making some tough choices. But cutting spending alone isn't enough. We also need to look at ways to increase revenue. And before you start yelling about raising taxes, hear me out. We can start by closing those aforementioned tax loopholes that allow corporations and billionaires to pay less than their fair share. It's about finding a balance, folks. A balance between spending responsibly and ensuring that everyone contributes their fair share.